Ready for a blast from the past? The 1970s gave us some of the fiercest muscle cars to ever hit the pavement, with quarter-mile times that still make modern machines sweat. Forget the legends you think you know. These are the true kings of speed, proven where it matters, on the strip. So, buckle up and see which monsters made the cut, because some of these times are faster and rarer than most fans realize. Let's get into it. 1970 Ford Torino Cobra, 1 4-mile time, 13.99 seconds. Among Ford muscle cars, the Mustang usually steals the spotlight, but the Fairlane-based Torino Cobra proved it could hang with the best. Motor Trend even named the Torino Cobra their car of the year in 1970, and for good reason. Outwardly, it looked restrained, a true sleeper, but under the hood, it was a different story. Ford dropped in the massive 429 cubic inch 385 series big block V8. Depending on the configuration, you'd get 360 horsepower in Thunderjet trim, 360 horsepower for Cobra Jet, and a brutal 375 horses with the drag pack Super Cobra Jet option. With a 4-speed manual and 3.91 gears, Motor Trend clocked a 13.99 second quarter mile at 101 mph in their Cobra Jet during a roundup of Torino models. And if that wasn't enough, it could dash from 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds. Mighty quick for the era. The Torino Cobra might not have the Mustang's fame, but on the street and the strip, it was every bit the Predator. 1971 Ford Mustang Boss 351, 1 4-mile time, 13.8 seconds. Ford's stable was stacked with high-displacement Mustangs in the early 70s, but the Boss 351 left a mark all its own. Official tests from Motor Trend gave it a verified 13.8-second quarter mile, landing it squarely among the elite muscle machines of the era. At its heart, the Boss 351 packed a thoroughly worked-over Cleveland V8, cranking out 330 horsepower and 370 lb-ft of torque. Ford's engineering team didn't hold back. High flow heads, 11.7.1 compression, forged rods, and aluminum pistons made sure this engine was ready to run hard. The 4300D carburetor was even designed specifically for this car. Out on the road, it was a no-nonsense street brawler, quick, loud, and blessed with razor-sharp throttle response. It was also among the last true, high-compression, performance-first Mustangs before emissions rules put a damper on the party. The Boss 351 might not wear the legend badge as much as its predecessors, but real muscle car fans know it's the one that delivers. 1971 Chevrolet Corvette 454 LS6, 1 to 4-mile time, 13.72 seconds. Just as the LS6 454 hit its stride, the dreaded malaise era loomed, pushing Chevrolet away from big blocks. That makes the 71 Corvette 454 LS6 a rare bird. Only 188 were made that year. CarCraft magazine wrung one out in bone stock trim and nailed a 13.72 quarter mile at just over 102 mph. But they weren't done. With tweaks like 4.56.1 gears, Headman headers, Thrush side pipes, Coney shocks, a Hayden oil cooler, and stickier tires, they cut that down to an eye-watering 12.64 seconds at 114 mph. Even as stock, the LS6 Corvette was a rocket. The 454 V8 delivered 425 horsepower and huge torque, with every press of the throttle launching you deep into your seat. It was the last gasp of big block insanity before stricter emissions and insurance costs tamed the Corvette's wild side. For purists, the 71 LS6 marks the end of an era, a raw, unfiltered machine that lived for the drag strip. 1970 Dodge Challenger RT 446 pack, 1 4-mile time, 13.62 seconds. When it comes to quarter-mile legends, Mopar is always in the mix, and the 1970 Challenger RT 446 pack proves exactly why. This car was engineered for one thing: tearing up the strip with unrelenting straight-line speed. CarCraft magazine got their hands on one right before it officially launched, and managed a scorching 13.62 seconds at 104 mph in the quarter mile. Beneath the hood was a formidable 440 cubic inch V8, topped with 3 two-barrel carburetors and running a hefty 10.5.1 compression ratio, good for 390 horsepower and a jaw-dropping 490 lb-ft of torque. While it didn't quite match the Ford 26 Hemi in pure power, the 446 pack was considered by many to be more approachable on the street and significantly more attainable, with Dodge producing 1,646 packs compared to just 287 Hemis that year. The Challenger 446 pack became a street and strip hero, uncomplicated, tough, and ready to take on almost anything it lined up against. Today, Mopar fans remember it as one of the most versatile, thrilling, and genuinely fun muscle cars of its era, earning its spot as a classic that still gets hearts racing. 1970 Plymouth Superbird 446 pack, 1 to 4 mile time, 13.5 seconds. Plymouth's mission with the Superbird was simple: bring Richard Petty back from Ford, but the result was a masterpiece that outgrew its original purpose. The Superbird wasn't just a race car, it was a rolling legend the moment it hit the street. Its long, aerodynamic nose cone and massive 23-inch rear wing made it instantly recognizable, and just a bit outrageous in the best way possible. Beneath the radical bodywork sat a potent 440 six-pack V8, providing enough grunt for a 13.5-second quarter mile. Plymouth engineers went beyond merely copying the Charger Daytona. They sharpened the nose and adjusted the rear for an even sleeker look. Ironically, these tweaks shaved a little off its straight-line speed, making it 1 to 3 mph slower than the Daytona, but what the Superbird may have lost in numbers, it more than made up for in presence. Rarity was on its side too. These cars are exceptionally scarce today, and when one shows up at a show or drag strip, the crowd can't help but stop and stare. The Superbird's blend of racing pedigree, wild looks, and legitimate muscle have made it one of the most prized Mopars ever built. LL. 1970 Buick GS 455 Stage 1 1/4 mile time, 13:38 seconds. The GS 455 Stage 1 stands as one of the ultimate sleeper muscle cars of the 1970s. While Buick tried to shake off its reputation for quiet luxury with the flashy GSX, it was the more understated Stage 1 that truly packed a punch. Motor Trend took one to the drag strip and clocked a stunning 13.38 second quarter mile at 105 mph, earning it the distinction of the fastest American production muscle car for 1970. Official figures pegged it at 360 horsepower and 510 lb-ft of torque, but those were almost certainly conservative. Many insiders believe the real output soared past 400 horsepower. That kind of power meant 0 to 60 in a flat 6 seconds and a top speed approaching 115 mph. Beneath its reserved styling and Buick's trademark refinement lurked a beast ready to ambush the competition. The GS 455 Stage 1 didn't need flashy stripes or wild scoops to make a statement. It let its performance do the talking. On the street and at the strip, it quietly proved that when Buick turned its attention to raw speed, it could run with the best of them, leaving rivals stunned and muscle car fans forever impressed. 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner 426 Hemi 1/4 mile time, 13:34 seconds. The Roadrunner's playful beep-beep horn might give off a cartoon vibe, but the 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner 426 Hemi was all business where it mattered. With over 80,000 units sold in 1969, this car wasn't just popular, it was a phenomenon, chasing the Chevelle for muscle car dominance. But behind that friendly face was pure firepower. Super Talk magazine pushed a Hemi-powered Roadrunner down the quarter mile in just 13.34 seconds at a blistering 107.5 mph. That's no small feat, especially with a factory rating of 425 horsepower and a massive 490 lb-ft of torque on tap, sending the car from 0 to 60 in less than 6 seconds. Stripped down and ready for action, the Roadrunner sported its signature air grabber hood scoop, instantly recognizable and designed for more than just looks. It had the reputation and the performance to make competitors think twice at the starting line. Over time, the Hemi Roadrunner has secured its place as one of Mopar's true legends, a car whose bite matched its playful bark. Even now, when you hear that unmistakable beep-beep, it's a warning. Get ready, because this classic is about to fly. 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS405P4 LS6 1-4 mile time 13.12 seconds. Few cars shout muscle louder than the 1970 Chevelle SS454 LS6. This car is a legend for its aggressive stance, deep-throated exhaust, and an attitude that defined a generation. Under the hood, you'd find the fearsome LS6 engine, officially rated at 450 horsepower, and an earth-moving 500 lb-ft of torque. That power translated into real-world results. Hot Rod magazine recorded a 13.44-second quarter-mile, but CarCraft squeezed out an even more impressive 13.12 seconds at 107 mph. Thanks to better gearing and stickier launches, the Chevelle wasn't just fast, it looked the part, with bold lines, hood stripes, and a presence that demanded respect at every stoplight. On the street or strip, it was the car everyone wanted to beat but few could catch. It's no wonder the 1970 Chevelle SS454 LS6 is still revered by muscle car fans. It was more than just numbers on a spec sheet, it was the whole package, raw, loud, and unapologetically American. Its legend hasn't faded. If anything, the mystique has only grown with time, making it one of the most coveted muscle machines ever built. 1970 Dodge Challenger RT SE 426 Hemi 1-4 mile time 13.10 seconds. Chasing the title of Ultimate Old School Hemi Power, the 1970 Dodge Challenger RT SE 426 Hemi stands out as a true icon. Only 287 of these Hemi-powered beasts rolled out of nearly 14,000 Challenger RTs built that year, making it exceptionally rare, even among Mopar legends. CarCraft put the Challenger through its paces, achieving an impressive 13.10-second quarter-mile at 107 mph using a 4-speed manual and 4.10 rear gears. Under the hood lurked the legendary 426 cubic inch Hemi V8, officially rated at 425 horsepower and a massive 490 lb-ft of torque. Every bit of this car was designed for domination, aggressive stance, classic muscle styling, and that unmistakable Hemi growl. The Challenger wasn't just intimidating to look at, it backed up its looks with the kind of straight-line speed that left a mark on drag strips across America. Fast, rare, and born for the quarter mile, the Hemi Challenger remains a crown jewel in the Mopar lineup. Its blend of muscle, mystique, and authentic 1970s bravado means its legacy only grows stronger with time. This is what real American muscle is all about. 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda, 1-4 mile time, 13.10 seconds. If you're searching for the face of muscle car royalty, look no further than the 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. CarCraft clocked it at 13.10 seconds at 107 mph, a performance that lives up to its legendary name. The magic comes from the 426 cubic inch Hemi V8, belting out a factory-rated 425 horsepower and a thunderous 490 lb-ft of torque. 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds was world-class for the era, and on factory tires, it was simply stunning. But the Hemi Cuda wasn't just about speed. Its wide, aggressive stance, twin-scoop hood, and bold colors, limelight, rally red, violet, ensured it turned heads everywhere. Only 652 Hemi Cudas were built for 1970, making it not just an icon, but a rarity. The legend hasn't faded. If anything, it's only grown. There you have it, the 10 fastest muscle cars of the 1970s, each one a legend built for speed and glory. Whether you're a die-hard Mopar fan or live for that Chevy growl, these machines prove that raw American muscle never really goes out of style. Which one's your dream ride? Drop your pick in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more horsepower-packed history right here. See you next time.